gentlemen, welcome to the 115th ever episode of the Dex Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
And today, folks, wow, have I been through the ringer. We just got Dex Versus done. I noticed, I mentioned yesterday, Friday, that we were having some technical issues. My computer, for the second time, has completely died. I don't know what it's doing. I'm in a crisis, but we're here. We're hanging out.
It's rough times.
There's a lot. No, it's not that bad.
It's rough times.
It's just annoying, but I've put it out of my mind for now, so that's fine. And there's so much to talk about. I'm almost glad.
I was gonna say that, at least there's so much news and so much exciting things to talk about that it takes away from this terrible day.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm almost glad we waited an extra day because we even got a trailer today.
Yeah.
That we probably wouldn't have done it. But hey, we're here now. Welcome. This is the Dex Podcast. This is a Pokemon podcast for those of you who are just joining us. This week it's live on Saturday. So everybody's on the hashtag Saturday crew, but normally the podcast comes out earlier on Friday for audio only on actual iTunes and whatnot. But the YouTube video goes up on Saturdays. But this week it's all on the same day because So I'm Alex. This is Kellz.
Yes.
And we do a show on YouTube called The Dex. It's all about Pokemon. Kellz,
Yeah.
how was your Poke Week? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I actually have been doing not very much Pokemon stuff this week because Sun and Moon is getting so close. And so I'm trying to wrap up all the games that I wanted to still play before I don't want to play any other games.
Like Patapon?
Like Patapon. And I played some Civ 5 this week. I played a lot of pinball this week.
You're finally wrap up Civ 5?
I've never won.
Never?
Never.
How many hours do you think you played total? For real, be real.
On 24 hours. I checked on Steam yesterday. 24
hours since you've purchased it this last time.
And I've never won.
But how about in total? How many times have you played it? Hours?
What do you mean? No, 24 hours in total.
On your copy.
On my copy on this computer.
But what about other people's?
Oh, I guess, probably add a couple more. It wasn't my computer that I played it on.
I see. So it wasn't like you played for hundreds of hours.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm in a similar boat. I went to Porch and Retro Gaming Expo last weekend, which was really cool. You might have noticed that I posted a very low frame rate Sun and Moon demo update video from the hotel room because the internet was just awful at this place, guys. It was crazy. But while I was there, I brought my Pokemon cards, and I realized how hard it is to find those Shaymins in the wild like that. I think I'm going to have to order them online or something to finish up my deck because it is just too much. It's just too much. But I'm swatting dudes down online even without the Shaymins. I've been using the...
it's a cool deck.
Yeah, I've been using the Giovanni's Trick or whatever it's called card instead of the Shaymins for now, and it's working out somewhat.
Great.
So that's where I'm at with my Pokemon week. I'm working on a lot of new Dex related stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it right now because what happens is when I talk about stuff, I talk about it way too early, and then people are waiting for it for months before it comes out. So I'm just gonna surprise you guys instead, and I think it'll be more fun. But that's really been my Pokemon week this week, except that I've been seeing people talk about spoilers for the anime, spoilers for the game, and stuff like that. So, I haven't really been... I just haven't been super, hands-on with Pokemon. I've been playing the card game a little, but mostly I just went on a fun, retro gaming collector's adventure. Shout-outs to Davis, who decided to come up with me and room with me, and that was fun. Shout-outs to Jared and Heidi, who were super cool this weekend. Shout-outs to Norm. As always, shout-outs to Satchel, another great weekend buddy this week.
Shout-outs to Wallace, who held down the fort with me.
A good boy. I drove, by the way. I drove all the way up and all the way back down.
It's a pretty drive.
Yeah.
A gorgeous drive.
I would love to have done it if it took me, way less time.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't mind the distance, except that I had to do it in, 12 hours.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was...
Couldn't stop the yawn.
That's okay. I just, I would have liked it if I could do it in 6-hour chunks and then rest and then hang out and be where I was for a night, you know? But I was trying to get to the convention, so woo, That was crazy. I'm pretty sure I got sick too. Like I'm definitely like sinused out, but it was a good time, man. Like it was really fun. It was really fun.
Hopefully I'll be able to hop out next year and see it.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have a Pokemon news thing.
What?
I got the soundtrack that I purchased at Game On in Arizona, and it's like a very like high quality transfer of the Pokemon original soundtrack, and also weirdly, the theme song to the show at the end on like a vinyl record with colored vinyl, and it's really
very cool.
And the cover is like fan art that's like parodying Sgt. Pepper's. It's a great, like I love that I have this record.
It's very neat.
Cool. But that's it. I posted a quick Twitter video of it or something the other day. You can see it there.
It's very quick.
Yeah. But if that's it for us, let's just jump in because we have the chunkiest segment coming ahead. So I think we're going to skip the segment yet again. This is probably going to happen a few times before we get up to Sun and Moon just because
the news is rolling in.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's not too much more news, but it's rolling in.
Speaking of news, like shout outs to Gabby and Ty in that episode of Pokemon Generations, but we can talk about that.
Yeah, speaking of news, let's jump into the news.
Oh, because it's Halloween?
You mean like, why did I make a dumb sound?
Yeah.
I do that every time.
But it's almost Halloween.
You're right. Anyway, it's Halloween weekend. Everything in this news today is Halloween, dog. October 31st is a big day for a lot of Pokemon stuff. It's a little spooky. First of all, the most overtly Halloween thing we have here is there's a Halloween event going on in Pokemon Go. This is a great thing because it's kind of a window into like what their plan is for the future, I think. From now until November 1st, it's a candy extravaganza. So you only have a couple days left on this, but you know, that's all you really need for Pokemon Go. You go out and like knock it out for a couple hours and feel great about yourself and really make some progress. Buddy Pokemon will generate candy at 1/4 of their usual time, so that's like 4 times as fast.
Yeah, dog.
Candy bonus from catching Pokemon, transferring Pokemon and hatching eggs are doubled, which is pretty efficient.
Yeah, dog.
Especially for the hatching.
Yeah, dog. I hatched an Oddish today, and it came with 41 candy. I can just evolve it immediately.
Yeah, so if you have this Pokemon that you've been dying to evolve, and you never see it, now's the time.
Make it your buddy. Get those eggs.
Also, because the world is spooky right now, the spawn rates for Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, Zubat, Golbat. Oh yeah. Okay, they're bats. Cubone, Marowak, Meowth, Drowsy, and Hypno have all been increased. And the loading screen for the game changed from the Gyarados thing, right? To a scary Gengar theme.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I am not going to say that this is like a fully fledged, like finally moment for me for Pokemon Go.
But it's kind of cool.
But I like the idea of seeing things that remind me of MMOs here. You know what I mean? Like, I know Kelly's already been like very like encouraged to go out and like do it a bit, right?
I literally made a chart in my phone of all of the Pokemon that like I want to evolve soon and how much kilometers at the quarter rate I needed to walk in order to be able to hatch them all.
Did it seem like... Does it feel the same as like something like the Festival of the Lost? Like, do you feel like that's from Destiny, by the way. It's like a Halloween event. Does it seem like you're in like a festive Halloween vibe in the game?
I mean, it feels kind of the same, but it is more exciting, I would say, because like I'm just watching my step counter go up quickly when I'm at coughing right now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get candy from him, and like I only have to walk a 3/4 of a kilometer to get a candy instead of 3 kilometers. And so it's like, I feel great about that. And it's encouraging me to just like walk longer because I'll just get more candy than I would normally.
Would you compare it at all to the Festival of the Lost? Does it even touch that level of like seasonal?
No. There's definitely not like that much of a seasonal vibe. I mean, does anyone that's listening even know about the Festival of the Lost?
It's the Destiny Halloween thing. There's like candy, you go trick-or-treating, there's masks involved. It's fun.
I would say that this event is definitely less Halloween-y, but like not like
do you feel like it's special? Do you feel like
I feel great. I feel great about it. I'm happy about it. I love getting all this candy.
You feel like there's like a special thing happening?
Well, I do. It just feels special. I feel efficient, and it makes me happy, and it makes me more satisfied, which I think is a good marketing strategy.
Ja feel. I'm into that. Moving right along. If you are anywhere near an arcade version of Pokken, the annual... Pokken is over 1 year old. The annual event is underway until Halloween, where you can use Halloween-related titles, clothes, and obtain the Ninetales Miss Magius support set. That's pretty cool stuff. Seasonal stuff in a fighting game is really interesting.
Yeah.
The update also added Caesar to the arcade game. Both Caesar and Darkrai are still not available for the Wii U version. No word on whether they will be or not. There are rumors of a third Pokemon being announced this weekend.
No rumors. Dog confirmed that it's going to be
Oh, that's right.
announced.
It is confirmed, but we don't know who it is. We'll
Except
see.
for it's probably Empoleon.
Yeah, that's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream.
It's most likely Empoleon.
He was the third one mentioned in the list. It seems likely, but I don't have great luck, so I'm just not gonna make that my thing, or else it might not happen.
Oh my gosh.
If you were a combatant in the Unova Classic, which was a weird ass online tournament, you can pick up your special Darmanitan until Halloween. That still gives you 1 or 2 more days, so don't forget to do that. Don't lollygag, go do it. Also, Regirock, Regice, and Registeel have been going on since the beginning of the year, and they're going to end on Halloween. So you had a year to do this. Don't mess it up. Go get your legendary rocks. What do you call them? What do we call them? Legendary boys? Legendary men?
What?
Legendary
Golems.
minerals? Golems.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
Right?
Regigigas?
It's the Regi Trio, is what everyone calls them.
The Regiquatrain?
No.
Quad?
No, it's a trio.
Quad Reg?
No, they're trios because Regigigas is the trio master.
The Trio Master, like Lugia?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll take it. I will take it. But don't miss that. Those things both end on Halloween. That's in 2 days. Go handle that. Speaking of online Pokemon stuff, though, the Pokemon Global Link will be down for maintenance starting on Halloween. So it's going to be up for you to get your stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be down on Halloween because they're going to restructure it in preparation for Pokemon Sun and Moon.
So get your stuff because nothing transfers.
This means Pokemon Global Link, Pokemiles, and items stored online will be lost if you don't put them back in your game. So collect them all, send them over there before Halloween. Why don't you just pick up your DS right now while you're listening to this and do it if you can?
Because there's a lot of things that you can do right now on your DS related to Pokemon.
It's true. Check it out. Here's another one. The ongoing Darkrai Second Chance. The Second Chance event for Darkrai for North America is ending on Halloween. The serial code is just capital D, lowercase Arcrai 20, no spaces.
Great.
Get that. You can just type it in and get it. Just do that if you don't have a Darkrai already. If you didn't pick up your Darkrai, you can do it right now.
Quick pup date.
Pup date.
They're the Legendary Titans is what they're called.
Great.
Officially.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Titan seems badass.
Yeah. Anyway.
A Genesect is also going to be distributed at Game and GameStop stores in various European markets starting November 1st, right after Halloween, until the 21st. That's the Genesect is this month's Pokemon, yes?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Genesect is tight. Genesect is weird.
Definitely
Genesect
weird.
is a window into a weird part of the Pokemon universe that I think we're going to see more of in Pokemon Sun and Moon. What do you think about that? Do you think it was an accident or do you think it was on purpose?
What do you mean?
That Genesect is in the month of Pokemon Sun and Moon.
I don't know anything about Genesect, actually.
He is a bioengineered Pokemon.
Ah.
And he has all those drives that you can put into his body and make him any element.
Oh, type no.
Or actually, I think with him, it's just his attack that changes. But
Gotcha.
still.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess that's all right. Yeah. Definitely related in weird ways.
Do you think it's an
Interesting.
accident or on purpose?
Oh God. Of course it's on purpose.
You think they're that devious?
Yes.
All right.
I do.
Cool. Tight. So do you remember Shohei?
What?
Shohei?
Shohei.
Yep. He's a Japanese boy who
Oh yeah, I forgot his last
was
name.
put in the Shohei is his first name. His
avatar's name is Sho.
yeah.
I gotcha.
Well, Shohei is Sho is short for Shohei.
Well, yes.
Okay. It's all right. We're all right.
Yes, I remember him.
He's a
I love
fish
that
out of
kid.
water. He shows up. His friend Hao. Isn't his name Hao?
Yes, it is.
The kid's name is Hao also?
The Hawaiian kid's name is Hao.
That's too funny. Anyway, he learns about friendship and goes on adventures because
It's a
of
series
Pokemon
of
Sun and
trailers,
Moon.
by the way, if you don't know anything about
These
what we're
are
talking about.
shorts. These are practically short films about Pokemon Sun and Moon. They're so much different in tone than any other Pokemon trailer I've ever seen.
I love them a lot.
It's pretty tearjerkery, but the last one came out today.
And
it's pretty great. They
the end of the story.
They like go into the jungle and they see like
their hideout gets taken over by these idiots.
Yeah, they find like big kids who have taken over and they're like getting
smushed.
They're like let's battle for it in Pokemon, and they're like okay, and then
they get smushed. The poor kids.
Yeah, they get rocked. They're like, well, let's just build another base somewhere else. And then Show's like, no, we can do this. We can train. Let's do it. They train. They like learn. You see them like writing down like actual stuff.
Oh, it's so cool.
They like trade with people. They like become Pokemon masters. Basically,
it's like collect. It shows them like getting all their Pokemon. It's like battle.
The
trade.
mom is like so proud of him. He comes back. They win. It's really like a nail biter. It feels good. And then he moves home.
Oh, yeah. In the middle of the trailer, it shows like the mom at a computer and she like solemnly looks over at Show and is like, yeah. And then Show's like, okay. And then like it goes back to the trailer and it's like, what is that? And then you find out at the end they have to move home. Which is sad. It's so sad.
But then they look into the horizon together as they trade
at the sun
legendaries.
And they look at the moon and they trade the legendaries from the sun and the moon. It's very, very cute. He also won the battle with the Minior that Hao gave him. The
Minior, yeah.
So,
did the cool like Minior like
move.
Throw a mountain at you Z move. Yeah. It's cool stuff.
Very
but
cool.
Speaking of Pokemon videos that are online, you should also be watching Pokemon Generations. Episode 9 just dropped of Pokemon Generations.
9 and 10.
9 and 10, that's right. Released today.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you can go watch. These have been just very weird all around.
They're so weird.
But I was talking to Bradley in the office, Yo Schiller, and shout outs to him. And we were talking about how he was saying in Japan, Pokemon is like a much darker subject matter in a lot of the pop culture there. Like there's like books that are like a little bit more mature and stuff like that in Japan. I'm not sure if that's true. I would love to like hear some stuff about that. So if you guys are in Japan and you want to like talk to me about that, send me some info about that at thedexcast@gmail.com for the Fancer segment, because that's really interesting to me. But I think that's kind of the deal with Pokemon Generations, is that it's like one step more towards adults, but it seems like zany because it takes place in like such a cartoonish world.
It's very, very cool. Episode 10 was insane.
That was the old chateau?
The old chateau.
Damn.
That poor girl with her Chansey. She's one of my favorite NPCs, and I think that she died. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't be sure. It's so sad. It's so scary.
Ghost Girls in Pokemon. Somebody needs to do something about that. I'm gonna look.
Ghost Girls in Pokemon.
I'm gonna look into that.
There's a lot of Ghost Girls.
There's a lot, and it's weird, and I want to find out about it, so I'm going to. Also, there was a video, speaking of ghosty type things, there's a video released starring Mimikyu and featuring a song.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
About its desire to be Pikachu. It's very weird.
No, it's adorable.
It's cute. Definitely. It's super weird though also, but there's also some screenshots in the game that you've never seen before. There's an interior of a house that a bunch of Mimikyu are like seemingly living in, which is crazy. There's also a cave entrance where a bunch of them like scatter into the shadows as they're running away. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea why that is, but I'm excited about it. It looks cool. Mimikyu might be central to the plot of the game. Or maybe. At least to a plot point of the game.
Maybe like a trial or something.
Right.
It looked like they were in like this abandoned building and that they lived there or something. So maybe there's some sort of like ghost building or old house that you go into, and that's where you find Mimikyu in the wild.
The Gen 7 Pokemon have so much personality.
They really do, don't they?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. They're just so exciting. I'm really into it. But yeah, that's Mimikyu. Go check that out. That's like a really funny trailer. Also on Nico Nico, which is like Japanese YouTube kind of, right? I'm
very
so
loosely,
stupid.
Very, very loosely.
I'm so stupid. Don't listen to me. A special Sun and Moon broadcast happened. It gave us a few new bits of info about the game. First, there's a shaking grass mechanic where a Pokemon ran out of the shaking grass to start a battle with the player. We don't know exactly how it works, but that's something. It's something. We don't know exactly what it is, but that's something. That's exciting. Shout outs to Justin Flynn, the shaking grass man.
Ah.
It also showed a trial. Confirmed there are 7 trials in the game.
Nice.
And in the trial that was shown, the player received a Z crystal for completion. There might be other ways to get Z crystals, or there actually probably is.
Yeah, there's gotta be.
I'm guessing optional trials.
Oh yeah?
That's what I'm guessing.
Huh.
But or things that are like trials.
Just like little quests, like mini quests.
Yeah.
Do you think that the trials will be more or less in depth than the one in the demo?
More.
I agree.
I think they're going to be more in depth. I think that was like
Just
basically
like
to show you
taste.
like how it will work.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you get a Z crystal. There's like 18 types, but there's only 7 trials.
Right.
So
And then of course there's all the exclusive Z moves
yep.
too. So there's got to be like tons of ways to get them.
Yeah, and also for Gerard Khalil, the Rotom Dex will update you each time you catch a Pokemon by telling you what your Pokedex completion percentage is.
Tight.
It's a little bit more encouraging.
Lots of shout outs today.
I think, you know what? I think everybody's going to be able to do this time. I think a lot of people are going to catch them all this time.
Great.
Is that exciting?
That's very exciting.
I'm excited to see their online trading mechanics, because I think that's something that really needed an overhaul. And I think we all are on the same page about it being like, you just try and get something that you want, and everybody wants like a Keldeo in exchange, or a Rayquaza,
or they're offering you something that's like hacked.
Yeah. Darkrai, shiny, perfect IV Darkrai.
Right.
Crazy. I've been Wonder Traded something like that before. What is that?
Free.
But yeah, that's that Nico stuff. But like that's all like pretty practical, exciting info. I'm pretty into that. Also, then bam, Thursday, that was the big one. The big news came on Thursday, which actually is great because we waited again because we were like, maybe there's gonna be a trailer, and there totally was.
Yeah.
So good job, us, but also bad job.
Man, what a trailer.
Yeah, but bad job, my computer. You know what? Here's the thing about these trailers, real quick before we get into it. Like, I swear these guys are like reacting to the leaks with this trailer, because this is like an unprecedented amount of information in one trailer.
Oh yeah, it was a big meaty trailer.
So yeah, first of all, the final evolutions of the starters were revealed. These are the same designs that we saw leaked months ago, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
But they're confirmed. These are the ones that I was tweeted PNGs of with no context. The first one is Decidueye. That's Rowlet's final form. This is the tightest one, so we're going to start with it. Just objectively, unfortunately, it's the tightest one.
Unfortunately, you're incorrect about that.
Unfortunately, I am the smartest. Okay,
Okay,
all right. No, it's all right. We're kidding. But I am definitely choosing this Pokemon. It is a grass ghost, so everybody get rocked.
That's awesome.
And there's a lot more everybody get rocks going on in this. So it has a special move called Spirit Shackle. It's a physical ghost type move, which is already tight. It prevents the opposing Pokemon from switching out or fleeing. That's pretty abysmal. Like, that's pretty demoralizing.
Pretty scary.
Especially
Pretty
in BGC.
Scary, pretty ghost.
Get hype. Taking him to Anaheim. See you in Anaheim, suckers.
Also some fun facts, like the ghost typing like totally matches up with that like Pueo owl that we were talking about. That's like their spirit.
Yes.
Like a family spirit. And then there's also, someone tweeted this at me today. There's an owl called the stilt owl that was native to Hawaii but is now extinct.
Ghost. Owl. Get hype. All right. Up next is Incineroar, which I don't like the name of, but I think it's like too much. It's like Talonflame like walked up to the line of like ridiculous name, and Incineroar
like fire pun.
Yeah, and Incineroar like crosses that line.
I think Talonflame is a worse name than Incineroar.
Well, Talonflame is like a tight name for that bird, but Incineroar for this guy,
but
like,
just imagine yourself like saying it in a big announcer
no,
voice
I
at
know,
a wrestling match.
but I think it's kind of supposed to be.
Incineroar!
I was gonna say I think it's kind of supposed to be a little bit awful because
of the way he's designed.
So first of all, Fire Dark, so everybody get rocked. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, just look at that leak. This guy's firefighting and I hate Pokemon for betraying me." But he's not.
He's Fire Dark.
He's Fire Dark. That's rocked.
Pretty cool.
That's the opposite of firefighting. He seems to be molded after like a heel in professional wrestling. Like the ultimate like annoying, awful bad guy wrestlers.
He's like a villain. All his flavor text talks about how like trainers don't really like fighting against him because like he sometimes hits them on accident.
Brutal. He's careless.
It
learns Darkest Lariat, a physical dark type move that ignores effects of all stat changes. That's rough.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we still got to see his stats, but like that's a pretty good move.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Shout outs to, have you ever seen Ip Man 2? Have you ever seen that one?
I'm not sure.
The boxing one?
I'm not sure.
Where it's
I've seen an Ip Man, but I can't remember
there's one
which
that's
one it
like
was.
there's one where like the Japanese come and he like fights the Japanese in a boxing ring for some reason. And then the next one is the one where like it's actually about like Western boxing versus like Chinese boxing, aka Kung Fu. And they get this dude who's like clearly from like some sort of like, he's like Iranian. He's like some type of Persian, like Adonis. And
Is this the movie with Mike Tyson in it?
No, that movie. That's it, man. That's it, man. 3.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
that's the one I saw.
Basically, like, he's like the most annoying heel ever. He has like an awful British accent. He's always like, "I'll punch you in the face." His name's like Twister or something like that. It sucks.
Oh my.
He's so awful, but he's so good at being that awful heel, and I think that's where we're gonna get Incineroar.
Like, that's his personality type.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very neat.
Pretty fun. I like that. I like that a lot. Like, that makes me like the Litten line a lot more, actually.
And I do like the Litten line, but I want to make it public today on this podcast that I have officially switched over to Team Poplio.
Dang.
And it's because
Of Primarina?
Of Primarina.
Primarina is Poplio's final evolution. It's like a 1920s like Art Deco mermaid sitting on a rock, basically.
Beautiful, great, majestic.
Yeah. Like, if you're thinking about like a 1920s mermaid, you're doing it right.
So basically what she does is she sings these songs that have been passed down from Primarinas before her through her like family group. And it controls orbs of water that it uses to like dance with and creates like spectacular choreography and stuff.
Sure.
Each group of Primarina that live together have different songs because it's all oral tradition. And it learns a move called Sparkling Aria, which is a special water type move, and it heals burns off of any Pokemon that it strikes. And you pair it with a water absorber, and it's love.
Primarina and Gastrodon.
Primarina and Gastrodon, my friends.
My friends.
But
and Gastrodon's
water
effective.
fairy also.
And Gastrodon's effective against poison.
Yeah.
And steel.
Hey.
All right. Anyway.
So that's the...
No word on whether or not the water orbs still come out of its nose.
Yeah, who knows?
Do they?
It doesn't say.
That'd be pretty unflattering.
It did not say.
Yeah, but I'm pretty excited about Sparkling Aria. I mean, that seems like pretty cool, and I always like the water final evolutions, like for battle.
And I love Primarina. I love seals. I always love the seal ones.
Yeah. We also have a very quick Kellstradamus.
Oh, okay. Things to think about here. I wish there was a stinger.
Dexcast homework, send us a Kellstradamus stinger to thedexcast@gmail.com. That's HOWCANIEVERSAYITENOUGH@gmail.com.
What? What did you just spell?
How can I ever say it enough?
That's not a real Gmail.
Thedexcast@gmail.com. And now, Kellstradamus.
Okay, so like in the final reveal trailer, each evolution is shown on like the same screen. It's a split screen of orange and purple, and in each clip, it shows the first 2 evolutions appearing on the orange side and the final evolution appearing in the center, like centered on the purple side of the screen.
This is like some like JFK.
Tin hat, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all right. So that, I mean, you know, could be just a spacing.
I'm with you though.
Could be just a
For the
spacing
record.
thing, but like it's kerned in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Did I use the phrase kerned right?
Yeah.
Great.
What did you say? Kerned?
Like the images are laid out in a certain way. They're like centered in a certain way that it seems like they purposefully put the first 2 evolutions on the sun side and the
It seems
other ones
intentional.
only on
it
the
seems
moon
intentional.
side.
Yeah.
Right. The secondary types, Ghost, Dark, and Fairy, are all kind of related to nighttime.
Right.
And Primarina's flavor text says, the sight of moonlight reflecting off its glittering balloons creates a magical scene. And so I'm wondering
Hit him with
if
the theory.
these guys are the moon versions.
Boom.
And
Check
we
it
haven't
out.
even seen the sun versions yet.
What if there's a grass normal? What if there's a firefighting? And what if there's a water? I don't even know. Water.
Very
Fire.
water fire? Volcanion. It just evolves into Volcanion.
I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to think of what the sun opposite of fairy is.
Sure.
Steel? Water steel, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's totally crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely crazy. We can all agree, like, that's crazy, but, like...
It's a little tin hatty, but, like, maybe it's
It tickles
real.
my, like, oh. Like, I'm honestly like, Because what a great FU that would be to all the leaks.
Yeah.
At this
Yeah,
point, I just want that to happen. Anyway.
I still have a big feeling that Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to surprise us in a multiple myriad lots of
look at the
ways.
stuff that they like casually roll out in this trailer for examples of that. But that's barely the tip of the iceberg with this trailer. So let's just get in it. We're already at 30 minutes. We might not even get to fanswers this week. If we don't, I'll do an extra long fanswers next week, and we'll use questions from both weeks. So don't feel bad, because I'm not positive we're gonna make it.
This is a huge news.
So we also now know we saw Tapu Koko already,
right?
Which is one of the island guardians, which seem to be similar to the lake guardians or the birds or the dogs or anything like that.
These guys are like the bros that guard the island.
Yeah. So Tapu Koko is the guardian of Mele Mele Island and is an electric fairy type. But now we also have Tapu Lele, who is the guardian of Akala Island. This one is psychic fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Tapu Lele scatters glowing scales that can help heal injuries and illnesses. Seems like it's going to be a support. However, the power is so great that a body cannot withstand the changes brought about touching too many scales at once. What does this mean?
Suspicious.
Maybe there's something here that has to do with the science behind the Ultra Beasts.
They're
Uber
Ultra
Beasts?
Why am I calling them Uber Beasts?
Because it's really weird when they like pull up and somebody else is in the car and they're like, come on, we're going to where you need to go. And you're like, I don't want to go into an Uber with two guys. All right, never mind. It's all right. Anyway, it has the ability.
Wait. I want to talk about this ability, this like thing, this flavor text, just like a tad more, because the wording of it is so strange, because it literally is like a body cannot withstand the changes brought about by touching too many scales at once.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
It's
telling
so
you,
specific.
I'm telling you, it's like spoiling a plot point of Pokemon. I'm telling you, like Lily is gonna get this stuff sprinkled on her, and then she's gonna go like, oh, and like turn into like a Pokemon, basically.
Yeah, because it also says that Tapu Lele like doesn't really give a care about like it likes to spread its skills around and like thinks it's helping and doesn't really care about if the people meet like a terrible end.
Right.
It's like pretty brutal.
I mean, they're like gods. You know what I mean? They're like
Yeah.
above us. They don't care about our earthly lives, which is cool. I love that. I love that about this. But it has the ability also Psychic Surge,
Which is new.
it changes. There's a new type of psychic terrain, and it just comes into it, like changes the terrain to that when it comes into battle. So it's kind of like what was going on in VGC 16 with the legendary like weather trio, but it's on a like a little bit less serious of a scale. Like there's still gonna probably be that tug of war of like, you know, oh, like this guy's in, I want to switch this guy in to change the terrain, yada yada.
Wars.
But it doesn't like destroy, you know what I mean? The way
Yeah.
that it does in the other ones. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
But the psychic terrain's pretty cool. It boosts psychic moves and it prevents the Pokemon from getting hit with priority moves.
So what does that mean? That means like you just don't get touched by like fake out, like it just doesn't
Sucker
happen.
Punch did not happen. That was the example that was shown in the trailer was Raticate
It just
using
doesn't
Sucker Punch.
like
and it
you lose a
didn't
turn
work.
if you do it.
I guess so.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. And also psychic moves are stronger, which like nobody likes getting hit with like
A psychic move.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always big damage.
Yeah. It's labeled as a strategic Pokemon rather than an all-out battler. That's Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele looks awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. It's like gray and pink. It's got like
They're
triangle-y.
all based off of like physical costumes that tribes made.
right.
Like if you go to like an anthropological museum and you look at like the like Pacific Island tribes, like this is the type of stuff that you see is like almost like baskets in the shape of animals and stuff like that. That's kind of like what their whole vibe is.
Like their shells are very much incorporated into their
exactly.
into their design.
So next we got Tapu Bulu of Ula Ula Island. This is a grass fairy type, which is like so tight.
Mm-hmm.
Tapu Bulu is basically the deer from Princess Mononoke. It can manipulate plants and vegetation. It can also do this to its own horns, which are made of wood, which is like a really...
He's kind of like a bull.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what Bulu means.
Yeah, probably. Though it isn't very active, it is quite formidable in battle. It dislikes unnecessary battles and frightening Pokemon, so it rings its bell to make sure everyone knows where it is.
That's the same thing that like Komo-o does.
That's the same thing that like Rex from Toy Story does or something. That's cute. Not as scandalous as Tapu Lele's.
Yeah. Tapu Bulu
Descriptions.
seems much more like benevolent and much more
Yeah, just like a, like,
much more like a benevolent guardian spirit, whereas like Tapu Lele's is more like don't mess with it because
Right.
she's way above you. Same with the next one.
Yeah, so Tapu Bulu has Grassy Surge, which is similar to Psychic Surge. But just in case you don't know what Grass Terrain does, Grass Terrain ups grass moves and restores some HP each turn, right?
Mm-hmm. To grass types.
But it also halves the damage from Earthquake, Magnitude, and Bulldoze.
Crazy.
And apparently Tapu Bulu, though it doesn't like to fight, shows no mercy when battling with evildoers. So that one seems like much more of a good guy type.
And I wonder how that relates to the bad guy teams.
Trees.
Evildoers.
Nature versus machine.
You know what? There was, in the flavor text, it said that there was a gang of thieves that one time went into Tapu Bulu's territory, and it literally picked trees up and clubbed them with them.
Do you want to bet we're going to save Team Skull from this scary bull?
You think so?
How much you want to bet that we're going to save like some sniveling nerds?
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good Alex Stradamus.
Alex Stradamus. Dude, Alex Stradamus is the guy who pretty much just told you the entire game of Sun and Moon 1 year before it came out. So let's all just remember how many of the features. It's almost eerie.
Did someone tweeted at me saying that in episode 34, you basically described Pokemon Go before it came out?
Did I?
Podcast. Someone tweeted at me that, and I haven't gone back and listened to it.
Episode 34?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right after this. Just as a smug thing for me.
Yeah, they said that you were describing an AR Pokemon game you'd like to see, and you basically described Pokemon Go.
Great. I hope I invented it. That would be so ironic. Up next, we got Tapu Fini of Pony Island. It's Water Fairy. This is the coolest one in my opinion.
Oh my gosh!
In terms of design, just in terms of design, at least.
Did you read its flavor text?
No. So,
you're gonna be so psyched.
Tapu Fini creates a water that is so powerful that it can purify one's mind and body. Does that mean like if you're crazy, you can drink this water and like be sane man again?
It's like pretty much holy water.
Okay. In order to get it, you must traverse Tapu Fini's draining fog, which puts opponents in a trance and causes them to destroy themselves. It doesn't care much for people. Its ability, Misty Surge, halves dragon-type moves and prevents status afflictions and confusion. That's pretty damn crazy.
Pretty crazy. Can you imagine though? It said for Tapu Fini that like she's too lazy to battle, and so it'll just like poof out like this draining fog, and like if anyone gets to her, then she'll battle it, but like she doesn't really care, and she like dislikes
usually
people.
They just like do the happening.
They just like go into a trance and then just like destroy them. So it doesn't even say how they destroy themselves, but like that's pretty.
It's crazy. It's messed up.
Yeah.
Tapu Lele and Tapu Fini are like of the same mind, and then Tapu Bulu and Tapu Koko seem to be buddies too.
Yeah.
What do we know about Tapu Koko?
You know what? I didn't look up Tapu Koko.
Will you pull that up?
I'm pulling him up cool. right now.
I'm gonna tell everybody one more fact about the Tapus real quick.
Oh sure.
This is a great thing, and I can't believe there's not many more memes about this. All the Tapus can learn a move called Nature's Madness, which reduces the HP of your opponent by half, which is crazy. But they can also all perform an exclusive Z move called Guardian of Alola, in which like a giant gel body appears out of the ground, and then the Guardian turns out it's like the top of a Zord and like becomes the head of this giant gel body, and then it just like whoops booty. We saw Tapu Koko's, right?
Yes, we saw
Tapu Koko's. The trainer, so it turns into this giant beast, and then it picks up the Pokemon in its hand.
Does it pick it up or does it just slam it?
I don't know. But the trainer, it zooms in on the trainer, and with like pure glee, the trainer like smushes her fist into her hand, like, do this to it. Get it. It's like,
and then like, the Guardian just like,
it's like, oh, okay. Boom, you're dead. It is like as funny as the Luigi death stare to me.
It's
like,
pretty funny.
I can't believe
really
that's
funny.
actually what it is. It's so crazy. I'm so excited. It's so tight. Tell me about Tapu Koko.
Okay. Tapu Koko. Guardian deity of Melemele Island. Although it's known as a guardian deity, it is surprisingly a fickle Pokemon and will not necessarily come to your aid if you need help. Despite that, this Pokemon has a strong sense of curiosity, and if it becomes interested in a person or in another Pokemon, it may come to play or battle with them.
Great.
So he's a little bit more
kind of moderate.
He kind of splits the field. I guess like in terms of benevolence, it's Tapu Bulu, Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, and then Tapu Fini.
Done.
So
Tapu Fini.
they kind of scale. Yeah, why aren't there more Mr. Fini memes?
All right.
Please, somebody Photoshop
All
Mr.
right.
Fini's face onto Tapu Fini.
All right. New Pokemon discovered. Cosmog.
Oh.
Cosmog is extremely rare. Note that. And is called the Child of the Stars. It absorbs light and glows and was only recently discovered. It is very curious and shows no fear of people or other Pokemon. The Aether Foundation seems to be studying this in usual Pokemon.
Why?
Do you think it's like a pre-evolution? Do you think it's like a baby form?
No, you know what I think it is? I think that the Aether Foundation, because it says that one of the Aether Foundation members named this Pokemon Cosmog. And so my guess is that they discovered it. My other guess is that they're opening up dimensional portals and they accidentally brought this guy through. And they're like, oh, you're a Pokemon too. Well, you're named Cosmog. And I do think that it's going to have something to do with the main story in the game.
I think this thing is like the Zygarde 1%, whatever the like weird...
Like a little core version of a...
Yeah, like I think it's going to be like a young version of the thing. And then it's like, oh my God, it's powering up. We're finally going to meet Lunala, like, because this thing carries the seed or like something like that.
Ah, interesting.
And then maybe that burst of power is what's needed to open dimensions or something. Who knows?
I love Cosmog's design. It's very cool colors.
It looks like, it has that same like space situation that Lunala has on it.
It does. It really does.
And it has like two poofs. It's a cool guy. You should look it up if you haven't seen it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It absorbs light and glows.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds related to Lunala to me, right?
I don't know. It sounds related to both legendaries.
And if we're like tinfoil hatting this, interesting that they didn't show like a small lion or something like that.
Oh, you think? Okay, so you think there's gonna be like two Cosmog versions? Then
I think there's gonna be a Cosmog analog in Sun that is not called Cosmog.
I mean, I guess the more I look at it, the more I see the parallels between it and Lunala.
It really has like aesthetic similarities, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. There's like a lot of gold in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like bands.
Yeah.
Crescents.
I think we saw like a moon trailer.
That's neat.
Also, the Persians in Alola have taken on a new form to match the Alolan Meowths. This is maybe my favorite thing. This is almost my favorite thing ever, and the flavor text for this is crazy. So get ready. Alolan Persian are very carefully bred to have their distinct round faces, and their fur shines beautifully. They're show cats, you guys. They're a symbol of high class and are very highly prized, so much so that there are harsh guidelines and restrictions on taking one from its native region. Alolan Persians are totally full of themselves and tend not to get attached to their trainers, and though they appear very dignified, they pull the most underhanded tactics they can once in battle. It is perfect. That's a winner.
What a cat.
That's a big winner. That's a bingo.
What personality in there, right?
Please.
It's like it thinks it's royalty and then it's like trying to cheat every chance that it gets while the battles.
Please join me.
So funny.
Please join me in Anaheim as I bring an Alolan Persian to the championships. Let's go.
I think your team that you're bringing to championships is
bigger. It has 9 Pokemon on it.
Yeah.
All of them are bad. Except Beware, who's probably actually like a Buster. I guess Buster is bad. He's a bruiser. He's a bruiser. There we go. All right. Alolan Persian
20
might be my favorite one.
Really?
Of the Alolans. Executor.
Ice Vulpix?
I'm not into the like
it's cute.
Cool
yeah,
ones.
I get it.
I'm into the like kooky ones because they're the ones that are like capturing the feel of Sun and Moon for me. Shout outs to Alolan Dugtrio. Perhaps the greatest idea anyone's ever had. I don't know why that's what they decided was going to be different about it.
Really silly.
It's so good. Is there flavor text about it? Is it officially on the site?
No.
Go try and find that dude in the demo. That junk is so funny. That is like so funny. I can talk about this. This is in the game, right? Like this, I can talk about.
I think you even mentioned it yesterday, last podcast.
Yeah, he's got like Brady Bunch hair. He's got like blonde hair, like human
each
wigs.
Dugtrio has like a blonde wig on, and they're all different style.
Yeah, they look like a folk group. They look
so funny.
It's so funny. Anyway, I'm loving the Alolan forms. especially the goofy ones.
Oh yeah.
Also, huge plot drop, and one that we did it. We did it. The Dex made Sun and Moon. Hashtag future Game Freak designers. Hashtag please hire us. Please. Hashtag please. In Alola, there is no Pokemon League. But just exactly what I said this.
I know you did.
I said this.
My mouth dropped open during the trailer.
There are plans to construct one on Mount Laniquil. I even said it was on the mountain.
I know.
Okay. It's the highest mountain in Alola. The text on the website implies that if you do well in your island trials, you might be one of the first to take on the new Pokemon League and become a champion. What does that mean? Are there gyms? Are there going to be gyms when you beat the game?
I don't know. I think it's the trials. But maybe there will be gym leaders.
That's what I'm saying. Like
who's going to be the gym leaders?
It's probably going to be
I don't know, because a lot of people from other regions are suddenly appearing in Alola.
It's probably going to be a greatest hits.
Oh, lordy.
And the reason I know that is because the Battle Tree Alolan champions. Battle Tree. If you become a champion of Alola, you can fight the Battle Tree.
Wait, should we talk about more about this league thing first?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just looping this in.
All right.
Because so you fight the Battle Tree, you team up with other trainers in the Battle Tree. That's how it works. And so far, they've revealed Cynthia, who's the champion of Gen 4, and my favorite.
She's
the
cool
Bae. She's the Pokemon
character.
Bae. Her and Courtney from Magma.
Her model design looks so good.
Yeah, all of them.
They all
Wally,
do, yeah.
Wally's there.
I love Wally.
Best theme song.
I love
Oros
Wally.
Wally theme, final battle theme.
Wally's maybe my favorite NPC. Aside from the spinning guy, Bye Bye A Go-Go.
Yeah.
Wally's my favorite NPC.
But guess what?
I think he's got the best
But
story.
guess what? You know what's
Guess
cooler
what?
than
What's
all
even
of
cooler?
that?
Oh.
Red and blue are back, baby.
I know.
And time has passed. They're freaking adults.
They're older.
Also,
yeah.
shout outs to Blue's green pants because we all know the truth.
That blue is green.
Blue is green. Hashtag blue is green. Tell everyone. Don't mess up the message.
I can't. This is so cool. It's very cool
They're
to
back.
see them like
They're
see
back.
them again.
They're back.
And Red
They're
still
back.
doesn't talk.
Yeah, Red is still totally silent. Blue is like totally cocky. Also, Blue's theme is remixed in the trailer. You get to see their like eye. You know, they're like close up of their eyes meeting. Like art looks really good.
Blue's theme song is one of the best songs in Pokemon.
It's iconic. It's iconic. It's iconic.
Shreds.
But here's what I think is gonna happen. I think you're gonna be like they're gonna show up and they're gonna be like, whoa, wow, you're like the champion of the Alola region, right? Like you did it. Like, do you want to become like the Pokemon League champion of the Alola region? We're trying to build like a Pokemon League and we're trying to figure out like how it's gonna work. So until we figure out what trainers from this region are gonna be gym leaders, like we were wondering if maybe you'd like go do like a trial run of the gyms for us, you know? And like at the first gym, it's gonna be, you know, I don't even know, like Brock is going to be there. And then at the second gym, it's going to be like, you know, somebody from Gen 3. And then the next gym, it's going to be like, you know, Watson, whatever. Like just, I guess Watson's from Gen 3, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just going to be like a greatest hits of the gym leaders.
That would be crazy.
I mean, like, look, I don't think we're going to go to another region in this game. I think that's crazy, you know?
I think it's very unlikely now that all this has been revealed.
Yeah. I think it's kind of crazy to assume that. But I do think it's possible that there could be like a post game where you fight all the gyms and get the beat Elite Four. Right?
Yeah. I think
that seems
it's
possible.
entirely possible, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty into that. What else do we want to talk about? What else what else is there? I really want to go listen to episode 34.
That's hilarious.
Pokemon Go. I also invented that. It's like I should be rich or something. Call me, Masuda. What's up?
I mean, I'm just like I'm pretty hyped for it. I do think that the leak was a kind of like a damper on my life. I felt like sad about it, like the leak of the Pokedex. I was like
the leak really made me
that.
sad. The leak made me sad.
But I think that Pokemon is really like trying to like be up with these guys and like.
It hasn't diminished my enthusiasm for the game. I'm just like crushed that somebody would just so freely take something so special to me away from me, especially when they know how special it is to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like somebody was like, I got to spoil this for Alex.
Yeah.
Like, why did you do that, whoever you are? Like, why did anybody do that? Why would you do that?
I got the anime spoiled for me too.
Just awful.
Please don't tweet spoilers at us. You
like,
can tweet about them, but like, please don't tweet them at us.
You can do it. Just give me a warning. Just be like, don't click this if you don't want to see a spoiler. That's all. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'm not against people enjoying leaks. I'm not against it at all. I don't agree with leaks, but if they're out, like, it's really unlikely that you were the one who leaked them, and I don't want to like tell you you're wrong for looking at something that's already out on the internet. That's not what this is about, and sometimes I even look at leaks for things that I don't care about that much.
Right.
Because it's exciting to see leaks for like The Last Guardian or something like that, where I'm just like hungry for any scrap of information, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But for something like this, it's like part of the journey of this game is like discovering all the new wildlife. It's like a very open game about all that stuff. So, you know, that's what it is. But anyway.
Speaking of wildlife.
Yes.
Did you know that a giant reserve, a giant wildlife reserve was designated in the Southern Ocean around Antarctica?
Yeah, it's like the biggest one there's ever been.
Like it's like a world precedent. A bunch of countries came together and was like, "Yep, we're all going to stop fishing here. We're going to protect all of these creatures."
There's like Australia and New Zealand were like kind of like the spearheads, right?
They spearheaded it, yeah. And then like a bunch of people agreed to it. Like, it's amazing. I'm so happy about that. That's all.
Dude, no,
I just get really excited when I hear about that because like we should really be nice to our Earth.
Dude, I want to go see everything in real life. Planet Earth 2 just got announced recently. And I'm pretty like excited for that.
Oh, me too.
I'm pretty like I was very surprised at how like giggly I got about it. Like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, like weird. It's just like animals in the real world.
Is amazing.
It's a great thing. Shout outs to David Attenborough. David Attenborough?
Yes.
Yes. Richard Attenborough is the other one.
Of course.
Not a great impression of him.
Well, here they are. I don't know. I'm not a British man.
Yeah, you're like a tiny girl. You're not going to be able to hit that old man Englishman voice super well. Anyway, guys, we're almost to an hour. I don't want to like jump into emails just yet, but like I said, next week we'll do a double wide.
Feature.
It's really late because of the tech issues we've been having, so I'm just going to try and wrap this up so I can get it out for sure by Saturday. So please enjoy your Saturday. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate you guys listening to this. And I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
Sun and Moon is just
around the corner.
It's 3 weeks away.
That's amazing.
Get hype. See you next time, guys. Bye.
Waiter man.